Good morning, everybody. It is the 13th of November, and we have extremely hard frost last night. Got down to like 24 degrees, certainly the coldest morning we've had of the entire fall. All the piles were iced over on the way in. I made a ton of noise coming in because on the trail where the mud was, all the mud was crystallized. So when you're walking on it, you were just crunching it all. It was super loud, but there was a nice mature 8-point that was down in here by the stump 3 early this morning, a couple hours ago, hitting the scrapes in the back of the food plot and then up the trail. So I know that deer's right here tight to this area, so I'm hoping that he comes down through this morning. We've got the heat turned on in here, so we're gonna get warmed up. It is freaking cold, but it's I think an southeast wind, kind of a weird wind this morning, which is blowing right this way, which isn't great. You know, that I'm gonna have to take that into consideration. If that deer's coming this way, I want to shoot him kind of out in front before he gets to where he would win me. But either way, got a fresh thermos of coffee. We got some heat going. We're gonna sit comfortable in the stump 3 and hopefully see some deer. Thanks for joining me. There's nothing better than fresh coffee on a cold, frosty morning in the deer woods. Doesn't get better than this. really nervous back there. There might be a buck back there somewhere. Well, we just had a doe and a fawn come out in the back of the plot, and they were really nervous looking back to where that buck was hitting that scrape early this morning. So I wonder if he's still in there. He was chasing doe around pretty hard. We'll keep our eyes peeled and see if he pops out. Yeah. Well, that's my second encounter with that little 10 point. That buck is really running all over the place right now. Had a doe and a fawn come out of the swamp right here, and I could tell she was acting pretty weird. She took off running across the food plot, and then about 3 minutes later came that buck out of there, and I heard him coming. I didn't know which buck it was at the time, so I got ready in case it was one I wanted to kill. And he popped out and right here at about 15 yards, and seeing that it was just that 2-year-old 10 point, so. Oh, here comes more deer. Well, I just had another little 8-point come out right here, about 10 yards from the blind, and he actually got a little bit nervous and turned around and went back, and then he came back out across the plot and started sparring with this little 6-point who I think lives in this little food plot. He never leaves. I mean, he's here pretty much when I come. He's here when I leave. He beds down right by the stump out here. He's standing out here eating still. I mean, that little 6-point is here every day, all day long. He never leaves. But that doe and fawn are just kind of running for their life right now from those 2-year-old bucks. That 10-point came back across and crossed into the brush right where that 8-point chased that doe and fawn into. So she's not ready, and those 2 bucks are ready, I think. We've seen 3 bucks so far on the morning, and I think four different doe. The first doe and fawn that were out here this morning, I think, went and bedded in the brush back in the back of the plot. Those are different than the 2 we just saw. They came from behind. Both of these bucks are actually from across the road. I've seen both of those on trail camera over there quite a bit, and we encountered that 10-point over there. Today's the 13th, the 11th, we seen him over there. So they're definitely on the move. We just need the right one to do what all these other. We've seen so many decent bucks, but we just need a big one. I can't believe how many bucks have come by us in the last week here, and we just haven't had the right one. You'd think that at some point the right one would make a mistake and go by, but it has yet to happen. One thing I've noticed that's been pretty interesting about how the deer are feeding in these plots is like this back edge right here, all of this is just hammered. I mean, the clover's only like that tall and chicory. There's not even any oats or winter rye there because they've ate it so low, but they seem to really like the edges. They'll walk all the way across the plot and just start feeding right there on that edge, and must just be like really tender new growth stuff that's coming up there, right where that little 6-point's eating right now. They really tend to like that stuff. I've seen just about every deer that feeds out here do the same thing. They work across the plot and then end up just kind of feeding right in that same area. Well, it's 11 o'clock this morning, and my pet 6-point finally decided to mosey on off the back of the plot into the brush, so I'm going to take the opportunity to sneak out of here and get some stuff done, and we'll be back after him this afternoon. I think we're going to go, not sure where we're going to go, but you'll see on the next video. The other thing I wanted to mention to you guys too is that Tideweed's having their Black Friday sale right now. And you can get some unbelievable deals. There's stuff that's like up to 60% off. And if you use my code on top of it, you can get an additional, 15 or 20% off depending on what the item is and how much you're spending. So if you input the coupon code KEO16 or KEO20 on top of the discounted price of the item for Black Friday, you can get something for like 75% off. It's wild. So feel free to check that out. Go to the website, input my codes on there, and get an incredible deal. If you guys are looking for good Christmas presents for your kids or brothers or sisters or whoever, right now is an incredible opportunity to get some unbelievable deals on their website. So feel free to check it out. Be sure to use my code. Appreciate everybody watching. We'll see you this afternoon. We're back after him, everybody. It's the evening of November 13th. And we are sitting in the corn. There's been a big bear coming out here right after it gets dark quite often. And we need him just to come a little bit sooner and we'd be in business with that bugger. There isn't really any deer that I know of that have been here recently that I would shoot. But with this, we have kind of a weird wind out of the southeast, mostly east though. So it kind of limits my places that I can hunt with that wind. So this is a place that I can get away with it. So it's part of the reason why I'm here. We had a great morning hunt down in Cherry Ridge, saw a lot of deer, a lot of nice young bucks. Nothing that we wanted to kill though. So we've only got a few days before rifle season starts here, and it's coming down to the wire. I've had a lot of good hunting, seen a lot of nice bucks, just haven't had the opportunity I've been looking for at the deer that I want. So we'll stick with them. And I did do something tonight to make my buddy Brock happy. I am hunting with a crossbow. My buddy Brock has been after me to hunt with a crossbow ever since crossbow season started, and I just haven't had a chance to get out with it. And he finally got to me enough where it's like, you know what, Brock, I'll hunt with a crossbow just to make you happy. He's a big lover of the crossbows and really enjoys them. So this is for you, Brock. We've got the crossbow instead of the Mathews. Oh, this is a Mathews. This is a Mathews Mission. This is a nice crossbow. We got this years ago, and there's actually some regulations in New York. It's got to be so many inches across in diameter, and there's not very many crossbow manufacturers that make New York legal crossbows, but this crossbow is New York legal, and it's been a pretty darn good crossbow, really. So we'll see if we can't let it bark on a big black bear tonight. You never know. Oh, the other thing is too, New York sent me another DMP. So today we got the mail, and I had another doe tag in there, so they didn't give out as many as they were planning on, and people in the second round like me got another doe tag. So I'm not going to shoot my doe tonight, but it's pretty sweet that I have another one. We have room. Let's get to the hunt. Tonight's hunt ended up being kind of a bust. I ended up only seeing a couple little does, but we had a great morning hunt, and we'll be back after them in the morning. Have a good one, everybody.